Hey everyone, and welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. My name is Sepia, and today I'm sharing a thank you card I'm making using Altenew's Craft a Flower series. This is the April Heather Dahlia set, and I think it's really pretty. So let's go ahead and get started. So these are the dies that it comes with, and on the back of the package it does show you how to lay out those flowers so that you're getting everything right. So here's all the dies, and I'm just going to use some white cardstock to cut those all out. So I've got them cut out, and one of the flowers has a keyhole in the middle and the other has a triangle. So we're starting with the triangle, and I'm using my squeezed lemonade Distress Oxide ink. I've got a little angle shader brush there, and I find these work really well just because you get a really dark color on there. The Distress Oxide inks are a little bit chalky, and so I wanted to use that so I could react them with water. And once you do that, the colors look a little bit different. So at first they look really bright, and I don't know about bright, but like kind of chalky. But then once you mix the water, it like really makes that ink come alive. So I'm just kind of shading these wherever, just as long as there's some yellow on each piece of those flowers there. Then I'm using some Kitsch Flamingo ink here, and in the white spots that I left, I'm just filling that in with the pink, making sure not to blend totally into that yellow because otherwise it's going to turn orange, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to look yellow and pink, kind of like a dahlia. So with those little pieces, you don't have to add any pink there, but I kind of did just to make it come together. And then I'm using my orange Distress Oxide there to do the centers. So now I'm going to react it with water, and I'm just getting some clean water on my number 6 brush, and then I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that all over the flowers, and you're going to see little white specks appearing all over there. Now, you could also do this with white ink if you don't have Distress Oxide ink, but it looks really cool. So I'm just kind of lifting that up for you to see. I'll slowly peel this off so you can see how beautiful that looks. So now we're going to start assembling this, and all you have to do is layer the keyhole on top of the keyhole on the first piece, and as long as you're keeping that keyhole straight, your flower is going to turn out. So that's what I'm doing now. Automatically these kind of bent upwards a little bit, so I didn't have to use my bone folder and bend the leaves forward. With this one it was completely flat, and so I'm just using my fingers just to bend those up a little bit, and then layering them on top of the flower. I love how these turn out, you guys. It's a really thick flower, and it looks like really real when you're making it. Like, it looks like a real flower, and then to put that on a card, the card just looks like it has real flowers on it. So it's pretty cool. So there is one of the flowers, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the second flower. I'm not going to waste your time. I just wanted to show you what order those leaves went in, and I'm doing the exact same thing as I did on the first flower. So I'll just skip ahead a little bit here, and we will assemble flower number 2. And so for this one, it was a little bit flat, and so I'm just using my bone folder to lift those flower petals up a little bit, and then just adding glue to the center of each piece and layering the triangle in the right pattern on top of each piece. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. This one's a little bit smaller, so I found that this flower was better for tucking it under the bigger flower, and that's how I found looked the best when you were laying it out onto your card. So I've just got a couple of more pieces left to do here. The top part, you just have to line it up with the bottom part underneath, like the center, and then it'll look perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the leaves. For that, I'm using the Rustic Wilderness color, and I kind of wanted the leaves to look really dark in some places and really light in others. And so you'll see that's exactly what I'm doing here. Like, I'm not really overthinking it, but I am making sure to put a lot of color on the edges to make those leaves really stand out. I kind of left the middles a little bit lighter, but my goal was to make the edges of those flowers and maybe even the top, the points, to be really dark. And then again, I'm going to use my water to react that color, and it looks like a real leaf that you found outside, or like, it's fall right now and those leaves look so cool. I'll lift one of these up so you can see how cool it actually looks like. It looks like a real leaf with raindrops on it. So now I'm going to go ahead and start assembling my card. So I'm just using basic white cardstock here, regular size, and I wanted to do tent fold. That's actually my favorite kind of card, is tent fold, because you can actually stand it up on a mantle and I think it looks really nice. This is a piece of paper I had in my stash, just some patterned paper, and I really like that green leaves pattern. I thought that the pink would really pop on there, and so I decided to use this piece. I did die cut it out with some stitched rectangle dies, and that really made that paper come alive. So now I'm just taking the thank you greeting from the Garden Bouquet, that's also by Altenew, and I kind of just had this in my stash, so I thought it'd be a perfect thank you card. And so I'm just stamping that in some orange ink I have in my stash, and then I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut this out. Now I know you can get dies that fussy cut greetings, but honestly it takes like 5 seconds and I don't have time to separate the dies. That's one thing I really don't like doing, is taking dies apart. So I do a lot of fussy cutting. So now I'm just taking my Copic YR24 marker and I'm adding some dots to the centers of those flowers just to really make it come alive. And I thought that looked really cool. And now I'm just going to start to assemble my flower onto that card base. So with the really big flower, I'm putting it in the top right corner there. I only put glue in the middle because later I'm going to be putting the leaves on, and I wanted space for them to be able to tuck under. I also decided not to use dimensionals just because those flowers are already pretty lifted, and if I had dimensionals underneath, it'd be really tough to get that into an envelope. So for the leaves, I didn't really plan this out. I knew kind of where I wanted to put them, but I didn't really think about which leaf was going to go where. And so as you'll see here, I'm just going to experiment with it and kind of tuck them in where I think they look good. So the nice thing is that it cuts out 5 leaves for you, and so I find a lot of sets only cut out 4, and then you have to go ahead and cut out another one just to make it an odd number, because when there's only 4 it looks really weird. Like 3 is fine. See, like look at it with just 4, it looks so weird, but then when you add that 5th one, it just brings it all together. So anyways, I kind of stuck those in where I wanted them to be, and then just put glue on the bottom ends of each leaf and tuck them in. I didn't want to put glue all the way up to the top, or that would have made them look really flat, and that's just not what I was going for. So just tucking in that last leaf, I kind of had some hesitation with it. I didn't know which way to put it, but I finally ended up doing it towards the right there. Now for the greeting, I did cut it out in green and orange just to see which one I would like better. The green looked good, but then I talked to my 4-year-old daughter and she said the orange looks better, and I just wanted to make her happy, and so I went with the orange. I'd really like to know what you think. Do you like it with the green or the orange? Leave me a comment and tell me if you think I should have went with the green. But I do really think that the orange brought out the centers of those flowers, and clearly she has an eye for art, so I wanted to make her happy there. So I'm just putting on some foam squares there, and then I'm gonna stick that down just to make it look like the rest of the card. Everything else looks like it's kind of lifted up, and so I wanted my greeting to be kind of lifted up. And then I brought in these green sequins, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop those on where I think it looks good. I only used one of the big ones, and then all of the rest of them are small. And I did end up going with an odd number there too. I think I ended up putting on 5. Maybe I did 6 actually, now that I'm looking at it. No, I did 5. Anyway, so that is my card for you today, you guys. I hope you like it. I am going to go ahead and decorate the inside of that too. Probably put like another little flower, or like just even stamp a flower on the inside. But yeah, that is my card. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel and check out these other videos that are listed up here, because our designers are really great. And I know they'd appreciate you checking out their videos. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today. Bye.